Hello everyone, I am Drew Roberts and thank you for listening to my presentation. I would like to talk to you about the 5 ways business decision making fails and what we can do about it. So here's the problem at hand. Generally, most people cannot be part of every decision that's made. Therefore, a decision in an organisation is made on behalf of the people, often by the same people, the same times over and over again. Therefore, most people don't understand the decision because they're not present when it's made, even if it affects them or it does not. But why is good decision making key? Why are we in pursuit of this end goal, of this noble cause? So Erik Larson, who writes for Forbes, says this: if you want good employee engagement, decision making will impact 50% of all the employee engagement, therefore make good decisions. If you want fast innovation, make good decisions. Today's economic climate demands quick decisions. So if you need speed of innovation, good decision-making policy or practice is absolutely key to that. Business performance. Good decisions, or decisions in general, drive 95% of business performance. In fact, the business is just a collection of small decisions. Therefore, for good performance, you need good decisions. What causes decision-making, to fail? Well, sometimes the pace of the decisions. Decisions are mostly driven in ad hoc meetings, according to Mr. Larson, who writes for Forbes in a different article. These small ad hoc, quick meetings that drive decisions often happen via email, or in the hallway, or by the water cooler, or by a text message. They sap people's lives. So people's inboxes and phones and calendars are littered and overridden with decision-making events. These decision-making processes and practices are often reactive to a problem as opposed to proactive with a strategy. They require a quick decision to be made, but no effort is made to detail or track it. So remember those words, detail and track. This is a key theme throughout. The biggest complaint, according to Erik Larson, is quick ad hoc decision-making interrupts real work. Basically, the environment is a constant climate of decision-making and not actual work. The lack of communication around decision-making. There is an assumption that people will spread the word about any decision made. So often decisions are made with no clear informational distribution plan whatsoever. People who don't know about any new decision, because it's not been passed out to them, will continue to work under the incorrect assumptions, therefore under the old decision making, under the old decision made, under the old information. Eventually, if that failure, or when that failure is realised, if it's realised, the time to complete the task at hand is limited. There's an osmosis of information that is assumed in the organisation, and this is an instance where people are often too thoughtful, too blue sky, and not practical enough to implement some of the decisions that are made. People are out of the loop. So poorly run meetings assume people are prepared for the meeting as best they can. We've all been there. You turn up, you don't really know why you're there, but something matters a lot to somebody, so they're really prepared for that meeting. Therefore, decisions are often made maybe without realising this, or without having the right people there, because not everybody knows the task at hand, the problem at hand, and decisions are made with poor value input. They're made from very, very poor foundations. And if people don't know about the issue well enough and no time is spent ensuring that everybody's knowledge is up to speed on what needs to happen, then the right people can't be pulled into the meeting or into decision-making practice as required. Good decisions are often reused, sometimes called corporate amnesia. So people can't remember what has been previously decided, whether sometimes it's a good idea, but they can't remember what it was used for in the past. This is a prime example of decisions not being tracked. So if a decision is not tracked, it's left in the past. And very often if you make a decision and you're not capturing it, you're not tracking it, you're not writing it down and sharing it with people, it dies the moment you leave that meeting room or that decision-making arena, whatever it may be. Sometimes good decisions decisions fail because of strategic forgetting, which is where maybe a dominant area of an organisation tries to force the decision-making process to happen again and again in an effort to force a different kind of decision to be made, thus wasting even more pointless time. Obsolete decisions also block change. So some practices just don't die, and I've chosen a picture of myself before my morning coffee. to illustrate this. They're often called zombie decisions. And we've all heard this phrase before, and I'm sure we've all said it, and if you think about it, it's one of the worst things you can hear. We've always done it that way. It's an instant block to anything, that any kind of change or any decision or new decision that can be made. And it's very difficult to put old practices to rest. But people are victims of these zombie decisions, often not advocates of it, because people who are trying to maintain the way something's always done are probably just trying to uphold the integrity of their work, and that's a very, very noble pursuit in the work environment. What's the way forward? So Mr. Larson writes 7 ways in his article, 7 Breakthrough Decision Practices, and these 7 ways are practices noticed in high-performing companies. So first of all, a bias for action. Allow people to make decisions that affect their work. Don't overload decision-making towards the top of the organisation. Have a broad perspective. Allow broad input by all stakeholders. Include all inputs. Don't allow single issues to dominate. Make decisions fast and efficiently. Decisions should be made as fast as possible without excessive discussion. Use a just right analysis. Decisions are not made on a whim or overanalyzed. Speed is favoured over perfection. I choose to use my favourite phrase, or one of my favourite phrases here, that the perfect is the enemy of the good. Looking for perfection will always stop you doing something, and in the end of the day, we want to make progressive decisions. Clear communication. Disseminate decisions and information quickly to everybody affected. Key to this, make sure people know why they were there and why that decision was made. Make sure that's communicated all the way through and afterwards. Make sure any decision that is made has an aligned execution with what the company is about. Make decisions in line with a goal, with your mission and your vision and whatever other streamlined goals that fall underneath that. This ensures people will follow through on the decisions made in a much more likely way than ever before. Implement effective feedback loops. People will stay committed until results are displayed if they can feedback and communicate about it all the time. And there's a sort of a cadence of conversation about how the task is going. This also allows decisions to change quickly as the environment dictates, should there be any changes in the economic climate or your industry or anything along those lines. These high-performing companies that were observed by Erik Larson did 3 main things under one, what I'm calling the golden rule. They captured the decision, they detailed the decision, and they tracked the decision. And as long as you do that around your decisions made, you're probably going to be in a better place for it. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to reading your comments shortly.